Aloha, this is Lorna Takehara Strand, Chair of Oahu Democrats, with candidate Valerie Wang, who is running for House District 26. Welcome, Valerie, and tell us a little bit about where you were born and your childhood ohana.
Yes. Well, first, thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so humbled and honored to be here with you. I grew up in the Bay Area, California, born and raised in Fremont. Well, born in Fremont and then moved to Palo Alto in fourth grade and lived there until I went to Michigan for my undergraduate degree from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, where I studied business. My mom's a lifelong educator. She's currently a professor at UCLA teaching public health and nutrition. And she's also an epidemiologist. So she had a lot of fun over the last 2 years. And then my dad is a lifelong entrepreneur. So he's been working on his own small businesses since 1990. Both of them have really shaped who I am today.
And where do you call home now?
Yeah, so home now is Punchbowl. Moved to Hawaii a little under 5 years ago to help start an HR outsourcing company where we managed payroll, benefits, and work comp for small business owners. Through that experience, I really fell in love with the culture. I fell in love with the islands. I fell in love with all the people out here. And we decided to call Hawaii home. So we bought a home in Punchbowl a little over a year ago. And now I currently work for Kaiser, running one of our sales and account management teams. And my fiance, Ben Schuster, runs a tech team over at First Hawaiian Bank.
Please tell us about someone who's your personal hero and who inspires you to keep going every day.
Yes. This might sound cliche, but my personal hero is definitely my dad. My dad being that lifelong entrepreneur, it's 100% where I draw inspiration from. Like I said earlier, he's been at his small business since 1990. He's been handed a number of unlucky circumstances and situations, and he's always picked himself back up and powered forward. He's taught me to take big risks, the farther you fall, but also the bigger the reward. And he really taught me to turn all my failures into our greatest lessons learned, into opportunities. He also taught me to never give up and to do everything with integrity.
And what have been some defining moments in your life that helped shape you as a Democrat?
Yeah, I don't think there's one specific moment. I think, I just grew up in a household with a lot of democratic values. Like I said earlier, my mom's a lifelong public educator. So her whole life, she's just been giving back to her students, giving back to the community, doing lots of research and grant papers. I remember working with her on the weekends and late nights, going door to door, talking with the community to just learn what we could do together. And so I think through my mom, I learned a lot of kind of the civil service and public service side of what's shaped me today. My mom's also taught me to always treat others the way you want to be treated, the golden rule, and more specifically to speak up when someone's bullied. So when you see someone that's being bullied, or you see, someone that's maybe a have-not and you have the opportunity to help them, you should. And so I think, it's just the household I grew up in.
And what does serving the people mean to you, which will allow you to feel like you're the best Democrat for the job of representative for District 26 this year?
Absolutely. Well, serving the people means listening to their needs and their concerns, right? Prioritizing their issues over your own. It's not what matters to me. It's what matters to the people who live in District 26. And that's also why, if elected, we've decided to actually donate 100% of my public salary back to local nonprofits that the district chooses. So we'll let the district vote for their favorite nonprofits, and we'll give 100% of our salary back to them because it's about the community. It's about making our community better. And what better way of really putting our money where our mouth is than donating back to organizations that are truly serving the people. In terms of what makes me the best Democrat for the job, I would say I'm the only Democrat right now that's really listening to the concerns of the people. We've knocked on about 1,700 doors in the last 2 months. And of those 1,700 doors, the majority of the folks I spoke to don't even know who their current representative is. And almost every single person I've spoken to has never spoken to the representative in the last decade. So how do you serve your people if you don't know what their concerns are, you don't know what keeps them up at night, and you don't have the opportunity to really talk with them and hear what they want you to focus on so that you can do your job of serving their needs?
In the last 30 seconds that we have left, if you win and can accomplish two things while you're in office, what would they be?
Yeah, on a state level, I'd love to tackle homelessness. I know everybody says that, but I think there's a lot of really great organizations and ideas out there, and we just need government to help push through efficiencies and remove some bureaucratic red tape. And then on a district level, I would like to once and for all address that abandoned house on Pensacola that has been abandoned since the 90s and has had multiple fires over the last couple of years. We have to be able to do something about that house as a state.
And if volunteers want to volunteer for your campaign, they can contact you at valeriecwang.com.
Absolutely. They can also text me at 808-741-0213.
Thank you. Mahalo and aloha, Valerie.
Thank you so much.